What is going on, most amazing family, and welcome back. On this channel, we've talked shop about gobeckli tepe. We've covered the pyramids, Stonehenge, all that jazz. So today, I wanted to catch you up on some crazy historical discoveries that you may have missed. I just learned about some of these, and honestly, buckle up. It's pretty intense. I'm Taylor McWaters. Here are the top 10 historical discoveries most humans don't know about. Let's dive in. Kicking off the list at number 10, a really old bird. Yep, I'm kicking this list off with a tiny Chinese bird, a little wooden bird. This figurine is incredibly old. It looks like a wooden Monopoly piece almost. It's tiny. And when I say old, I mean like really old. It was carved 13,000 years ago. To give you an idea of how old that is, the pyramids aren't even 5,000 years old yet. Yep, mind blown. Just hit you with that one. About half an inch tall, small sculptures like these, perching birds to be more specific, were quite common in ancient Chinese art forms from the Neolithic age. Back in 1958 at the Lingjing site in China, a well was dug out. Now the construction crew went about 16 feet down, and unbeknownst to them, the dirt pile that was accumulating held secrets to our history. Inside this pile there were ancient tools, sculptures, broken ceramics. Then cut to 2005, archaeologists at Shandong University found one of the most important piles of dirt in the world. More importantly, they found this tiny little bird. How cute is that? And you could eat this thing, it's that small. Any piece of history that you could eat, that's rare. That's a pretty rare find. It's like finding a diamond, it's so small. Number 9, Dark Ages tomb. Looking back to the Dark Ages in Shamir Heights, northern Israel, this tomb is massive. It's made up of 400 tons of boulders and stretches to about 65 feet wide. This burial chamber goes back to 4,000 years ago. It could mean that humans were part of an organized society that long ago, especially consider the art that they found on the ceiling inside the dolmen. Check this out. This is the first time art has been documented in one of these chambers in the Middle East, and we haven't quite figured out what the ceiling carvings depict yet. So far we think arrows or anchors of some sort, but inside the actual grave there were 3 sets of human remains found as well, so it had been used for quite some time. While excavating the ancient grave site, archaeologists also found colored beads. One of the most intriguing parts of this grave has to be the lines carved onto the ceilings. All these lines connecting to one arc. What does it mean? Any thoughts? Put them down below. Number 8, the fall of the Roman Republic. Okay, looking back to 44 BC, we thought Julius Caesar getting was a major factor for the Roman Republic's downfall. Well, you know what's even more dangerous than a bunch of dudes running at Julius Caesar? A volcano. Yeah, it's a bit louder too. Thanks to science, we think the main villain in this story came from 6,000 miles away. About a year before Caesar's death, the Omak volcano went off on an island near Alaska. Now the ash cloud that drifted over afterwards, they were such a big deal, and we believe that it caused Rome's social downfall. We look at Arctic ice samples like we do with tree rings. We can literally see layers of history. So we compared the volcanic material to rocks surrounding the volcanoes, and we connect the dots. Bob's your uncle. Sorry, Julius Caesar. We thought you were kind of cooler. I don't know. You're still pretty cool. Number 7, a really old cat. We've covered the Nazca lines here on this channel before, but have you heard about this relaxing fat boy? The Nazca Desert in Peru was already fascinating with its geoglyphs, but among the 2,000-year-old massive pieces of ancient art, we had this massive cat that predates the Nazca lines. See, the cat was from the late Paracas era around 500 BC, whereas the lines were from the Nazca culture around 700 AD. It's about 37 meters long, it's big, and we caught it last year at a pretty good time. It was actually really close to fading away thanks to natural erosion, and now the fat cat has since been conserved. Let's go pet it. Let's go pet this giant cat on this big hill. Imagine seeing that, I'd be like, oh, great joke, guys. No, it's a real thing from thousands of years old. No idea why. Number 6, Forrest Fenns treasure. Somebody called Nicolas Cage. We found treasure. We did it. And by we, I mean the 33-year-old Michigan medical student Jack Stueff. Back in 2010, to fill you in a bit, millionaire Forrest Fenn kicked off a literal treasure hunt. He said he'd hidden $1 million worth of treasure in the Rocky Mountains somewhere, and the only clue as to where it lays was a 24-line poem. Yeah, like it's Zelda Breath of the Wild. How exciting is that? This treasure brought in thousands of hunters, obviously, 5 of which lost their lives trying to find this thing. It was a big deal. Jack only found out about this treasure hunt in 2018, so he was late to the party, yet still he found it. Interesting. Obviously, there's no details as to where it was found. Jack remained anonymous for quite some time, because there were legal battles, there were court dates, and honestly, I'd love to see a movie about this whole thing and how it went down. Show us the story of Forrest Fenn's hidden treasure hunt. Add a little Hans Zimmer in the background. Debit. I'll go see that movie twice. Number 5, Ice Age art. More ancient artwork, this time from the Colombian Amazon. Thing is, unlike other drawings found on the ceilings of tombs, this canvas stretches about 8 miles. The paintings are even more impressive than that. Dating back to 12,000 years ago, these drawings were made near the end of the last ice age. Thousands of paintings, by the way, not just a handful of arrows either. A lot. These were found in 2017, but it was only last year when they went public with their findings. Those findings being paintings of elephants, massive sloths, horses from the Ice Age, snakes, birds, and deer. This is now one of the largest collections of rock art in South America. Pregnant women or the origins of the Ninja Turtles. Number 4. More mummies. Summer 2020. While most of the world was stuck inside watching Netflix, more than 100 sealed coffins were found. And yes, they're occupied. Found of course in Saqqara, Egypt, Egyptian archaeologists have never been more excited. And honestly, I'm pretty jazzed too. Maybe we'll find the body of Cleopatra. Wouldn't that just be dandy? The fact that we found over 100 of these still in great shape is mind-blowing, because grave robbers have been around since ancient Egyptian days, and for all of those to be untouched for this long, crazy. The findings date back to 712 BC, which was a period where Egypt was controlled by foreign civilizations, like Persians and Greeks, and the idea that we're finding mummies is great and all, but I've seen too many Brendan Fraser classics to not be a little concerned at the same time. Please don't open them. I don't know, just leave them. We don't really need to know. Do we? We opened a sarcophagus and like this ooze came out, and now coronavirus is a thing. I'm just saying, do the math. You just check out. Number 3, an ancient zoo. Many moons before the pyramids were even built, Egyptians were visiting petting zoos. 6,000 years ago, Heracleopolis was a booming town, sitting alongside the Nile River. In Mike Tyson fashion, you would flaunt your wealth by getting an exotic animal as a pet. Yeah, as a pet is very important here. There were excavations done back in the late 19th century by English archaeologists James Quibble and Frederick Green. They were the ones who discovered that this town was thriving with over 10,000 residents, but when further studies were performed, we also discovered the remains of elephants, baboons, and a hippo, right next to the remain of their owner. Of course, what a weird funeral. These archaeologists found remains of baboons surrounding humans. I can only imagine their first thought upon finding this. We found a body next to a hippo. Is this a crime scene or an unbreakable bond? Animals are cute, you know, even if they're hippos that can eat your head. Still nice. Number 2, Otzi the Iceman. Discovered in September 1991, this mummy was found on the border of Austria and Italy. He's Europe's oldest known and natural mummy. He was covered in ice shortly after his death, so most of the 45-year-old man from the Copper Age was left in rather good condition. I say that, I mean he's a literal corpse, like bones, but it was good condition for a mummy. A 5,000-year-old man was found in ice. Take that, Captain America, eat that. Before he died in the Italian Alps, Otzi had a number of health problems. He had arthritis, Lyme disease, and he was lactose intolerant, which I think is the worst of all. Thanks to science, we know that Otzi the Iceman was sharpening his tools right before his death. It's almost like he had a hunch that he was about to be brutally killed. Sorry, Otzi. Number 1, the origins of spirituality. Cave drawings go back thousands of years. We're still trying to find the origins of spirituality in a sense. You know, these gods are appearing in all these religions, these half human, half animal hieroglyphs are popping up. We've recently found a cave painting going back 44,000 years ago. That's making us rethink Neanderthals and their ability to create spiritual drawings. Now, a team from Griffith University found this painting in an Indonesian cave in the island of Sulawesi. Again, these half human figures appearing ages ago. This is kind of creepy. This predates the old paintings found in Europe. They were thinking of creatures, these spiritual theanthropes, long before others, meaning that this could be the first example of culture and spirituality ever to exist. Thousands of years from now, archaeologists are going to find this abandoned tunnel in the middle of nowhere, and then right on the ceiling it will say, "James was here," in Sharpie. That'll be the next version of this in millions of years. Art is art, even if it's, you know, someone drawing something in a bathroom stall or someone drawing something in a cave 45,000 years ago. I kind of like the latter a bit more. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Those were 10 historical discoveries that most of you probably, hopefully, didn't know about. I did my best trying to bring some new stuff to the historical table. And if a part 2 is in your deepest desires, let us know in the comment section down below, and we'll do the rest. I've been your host, Taylor McWaters. Keep being you, and we'll see you next time on Most Amazing Top 10. Peace. We examined Arctic ice samples like we do tree rings, so we compare. I f***ed up tree rings. Oh my god. We examined Arctic ice. No, I'm gonna say something different. So we compared the volcanic. I'm going home.
Walk off, walk off.
Walk off, baby. Number 5, walk off. Hey. Number 4. Now my hands are like up there. Is this a crime scene or an unbreakable bond? 50-50. This guy's Robitussin, eh? Number 1, the origins of spirituality. Yeah, I'm reading this book right now. Okay, this one's sick. How's my time? We're looking nice. Oh, we're looking almost too short. We'll see what happens. It's drawn in, Sharpie. Either way. Also, what was that? Can I say p***? I don't think I can say